It going, Juju Gang? I know early stream. What is it? It's not even 9 o'clock yet Pacific time, but today grants a Monday morning live stream for a multitude of reasons. Number one, I guess we'll start with the price action. 1131 is the new high day. We're kind of flirting with the high right now. We're only about 8 or 9% away from all-time highs. By the way, let me know in the chat if you're watching live, if my audio is coming in clear to everyone. I see Marco, John, Imran, Merlin, Hedgie, Richard. How's it going? Greetings, everyone. Let me know in the chat where you guys are tuning in from on this hopefully beautiful Monday morning. And so price action is looking really, really strong. Mimi, how's it going? Jeff, Brandon, awesome. So price action is looking very strong at the moment. And the big news of the day, what I've titled everything, I've created a thumbnail on, Elon Musk takes a position in Twitter. Twitter is up 25% on this news. I'm going to go through first just the news article first, just for context. Elon Musk just took a 9.2% stake in Twitter. A week ago, Elon Musk was asking his Twitter followers for their views on the social media platform. It's now emerged that he's bought nearly 10% of the company, close to $3 billion worth. So anyone, first of all, arguing that Elon Musk had to sell Tesla shares to buy or invest into anything else, I don't know how, but they forgot that Elon sold a bunch of Tesla to buy or to exercise his options and was left with a large sum of cash that he's now used. And what's also interesting is Elon Musk, I think, owns 3 times more than Jack Dorsey now, which I think is hilarious. Welcome everyone. I see all the city states coming in. Perfect. Thank you for the feedback. Awesome. So big news there around Twitter. Now, okay, a lot of varying opinions. Let me know in the chat. I'm watching the chat right now what your opinions are on the Twitter Elon news, pro, positive, negative, whatever it might be. Here's the way I look at it. So short term, you can argue it's a distraction. I think that's kind of what the general consensus has been around everything. But this is what I tweeted this morning. Feel free to follow me on Twitter if you want. I said, Elon buying Twitter will be a huge win long term. It's not about the distraction. This guy runs Tesla, SpaceX, Boring, Neuralink, and more. Pretty sure he has time management down. I think Elon's purchase is a step towards not being tied to advertisers. Twitter ads suck. Many suggesting creating a new platform. That's not easy. No one wants to switch to your cool new hip site. By the way, who remembers Rogan and Vero? This is shout out to 2018. One question I do have for Elon, though, is what do you do with the dilemma of granting accounts to foreign bots or actors seeking to divide? Specifically, like Russian bots, we know in the media have been prevalent in just trying to stir the pot online, trying to create internal divide, let's say in America or in Western countries. And so I say, if you ban them, you're accused of censorship. If you don't, it dirties the playing field. That's a big question I do have. One thing to take into consideration, right? We're talking about free speech, Twitter, is, of course, the way I look at it as a capitalist, I guess, is Twitter is a private company. They can do what they want. If they want to ban people, they can ban people. If they don't want to, whatever. The problem is, and in a capitalistic world, if a social media platform sucks so much, maybe a new one will pop up. Well, in comes Elon. And I get it. Elon's not going to probably 180 the whole app. But a big consideration to have with Elon now investing into Twitter is that he doesn't necessarily care about profits, which is essentially the corporate mantra 101, right? To increase shareholder value. Doesn't care about that. He can infuse capital if he needs to. He can raise. I mean, the stock price is just taking a 25% uptick. You essentially are creating money out of thin air when Elon steps in the boat. And so with that, if someone has come in, and I get it, trying to expect someone to be so altruistic enough to want to create a free speech platform doesn't really make sense in the grand scheme of life. But remember, I mean, Elon's done harder things before. So we'll see. Good questions to have. I mean, we're having a discussion on Discord with the Juju gang this morning about, is what is free speech and do certain crazy niche groups also get to survive on Twitter? These are all questions that we're going to have to live with. And I guess we'll find out soon enough. So a lot to look forward to there. Okay. Awesome. So 1126 sitting on Tesla. Let's go through some options news as well, and what price action may look like considering the options market. Remember, it's Monday. So with Monday comes the effect of Monday morning pumps on stocks like Tesla. Today is a little bit of a macro driven market. If you look at the NASDAQ for a hot second, NASDAQ's up 1.5%. The S&P 500 is up 50 basis points. So really it's more of a tech driven rally probably on the backs of Twitter and Tesla at the moment. So, that's to be considered. And I saw a question here from Albert. Albert was saying, do you think Elon's due for another Tesla stock sale this year? I don't think so. I think Elon will be hodling Tesla shares from now on. I think he only was pushed because of those options that were expiring this year. Other than that, I don't think he's really going to be touching too much stuff. Moon says Twitter could become a private nonprofit. I mean, that's kind of the funny part, right? Is that to a degree, that's kind of what we're hoping for, because that's really the only way that free speech can live. Because I mean, we talk about advertising. Advertising is very fickle. Corporate sponsors back out very easily on the littlest of things. And really, you almost have to be a nonprofit backed on something else, backed on someone that can fund you to eternity to continue that. So, these are questions that we're going to have to sit on, just like Tesla is sitting on 1128 at the moment. So let's look at the options market to see how options pricing might be driving this move upwards. Options algo flow for the day is strong. It's matching the price action continually. It hasn't taken a dip here. And if you look at the net premiums, you'll see call buying, evidenced by that green line, is steady all day, has been steady, is continuing to be steady. Put buying or selling is relatively flat on the day. Remember, this is Tradie Ticks. If you want to check them out, link in the description for my promo or my affiliate link if you want to check them out. So price action is strong. We're seeing the options market back us up. This could very well be one of those days, and I guess our idea is, so how much do I want to keep going here? But 4% up day. This could be one of those classic Tesla days where it just continues to rally for the rest of the day. Maybe sell off a little bit into close, to be determined. So a lot of news. It's hard to tell what's deciphering. By the way, I mean, low of day today is $1,073. $1,073. We're about $50 higher, $60 higher than that as I record this, and it's not even 2 hours into the trading day. So a lot to look on. So it says, what are the technical levels I'm looking at? Jay Warren says, on the daily, we've cleared essentially all supply in terms of or not exponential, but simple moving averages. I thought, a good portion of me thought on Friday of last week that we were probably going to consolidate after the delivery news. And I actually went live this weekend. Shout out to you if you came on my live stream this Saturday. I thought we were going to consolidate around this 9 EMA, 1,000, maybe even fill this gap down. But this Twitter news has kind of taken it to the next level. I'm not sure if this is short selling or, shorts covering, because you got to imagine if a news like this comes out, you're kind of thinking, okay, anything can kind of happen from this news. So maybe you cover. Volume is relatively okay for the day. 13.26 million already, a couple hours into the trading day. So I'd say it's not heavy 12 for the day today, but it's still a stronger volume day, or it is so far, relatively speaking. So in terms of levels, I mean, I guess 1200. I can pull up my trading view. It has better levels than my Webull does. Let me actually pull that up. But 1200 and then all-time highs is kind of the levels to look at. But I'll pull up my Chrome here. And I'll take off the super trend. I love a trading view with my EMA clouds. So let me just pull up, let's say the daily. Yeah, the levels are the same. I mean, 1200 and then all-time highs are kind of the levels to look at the moment. You could make an argument for a smaller resistance level at 1145, which is the high, the high of this candle here from when we took that big fat red day down. So 1145 could be a smaller mini level to look at. But as we kind of stand here right now, I mean, Tesla continuing to push up, and options premium is continuing to come in hand over fist. New high just made 1133 on Tesla. So we are rocketing today. Let me know in the chat what you guys think this is driven by, but I guess a portion of this probably has to be around the Twitter news. Tesla numbers, I already have kind of given my opinion on that. I think they met expectations, which in this quarter is essentially exceeding expectations. All other autos were down. All other legacy autos were down. So yeah, Mo says, what month will the split take place? That's a good question. Everyone's consensus seems to be around June. June is kind of what everyone is thinking the shareholder meeting is going to be. I'm a little bit of I'm not saying conservative on this, but I'm a little bit of I'm cautious Because if you remember last year, we had our shareholder meeting in October. The year before that was September, albeit, it was battery day, 11:34, new high of day made here, folks. Wow, we are really rocketing. By the way, bad news, it actually doesn't have any juju still. So I'm going to have to go to the store after this stream and buy some. Um, but I think if the shareholder meeting happens in September, I would not be surprised at all. I mean, a shareholder meeting, it's called an annual general meeting for a reason. You kind of want to do it once every 12 months. If you do it in June, you'd kind of be doing it 4 months before, 3 months before. So, it could easily happen and they could just say, cite because of COVID reasons and all that sort of stuff. So whatever, but I'm trying to play a little bit cautious and just think, what if it happens in September? Mike, thanks for the $5 super chat. Yash, I'm still stuck on the split topic. I don't know how to forecast 10 to 1 or 21. If it's for employees, why not split it hard to 20 to 1? Mike, thanks for the super chat. Here's the way I look at the split a little bit. If they follow Apple's lead, they would probably do a 4 to 1 or 5 to 1 and continue to do that every couple of years. I'm not saying that's the right way, but it's hard to argue with Apple and the way that they've done things. I think Apple has done it awesomely. I think they've done their stock buybacks, their dividends, their splits pretty much on cue. And that's a big reason I think that they've grown to about $3 trillion. Everyone in the Twitter Tesla space is saying that Tesla will split 10 to 1 or 20 to 1. I think I was on record to say a couple weeks ago when the news came out, probably 10 to 1, and I'm kind of in favor with that. I think it would make covered calls a lot easier and a lot more quantity for a lot of people. It would make buying into Tesla. It would make Tesla, comparatively speaking, to other autos. And remember, I show this watch list a lot. If you look at all the other autos in the space, they're all at an absolute level: $30, $180, 23, 12, 47, 25. Like they're double digits for the most part. But at the same time, when has Tesla ever tried to follow what's normal, right, out there and try to do it? So I'm kind of stuck. I'm kind of stuck in between that thought process. If I were to lean on the higher side, I would say probably 10 to 1 is probably the higher side. But you know what? As the days go on, I think Tesla, and I guess it also depends on what Tesla price does between now and June. But maybe if Tesla does a 5 to 1, I think that's fair game as well, right? 5 to 1 split here. Let me just pull out my calculator so I don't look too dumb. $1,200, a 5 to 1 split, $240 a share. $240 a share. That's not bad. I mean, yeah. So a lot of Mark, thank you for the $3 super chat. Appreciate that, my friend. A lot of considerations here. Let me know in the chat what you guys think. I think, I think I know that everyone prefers a 10 to 1 or more. I wonder if Elon and co think 5 to 1, 4 to 1, it's worked for Apple, it'll work for us. Apple pushed $1,000 a share for some time. Like I remember Apple used to be, I'm thinking like back to 2012, like $600 a share. So I forget what it was, but Apple wasn't cheap for quite some time before they split. So, but $1,200. I mean, okay. Here's the thing: if Tesla goes to $1,500 by the time it's June or July, then maybe that changes. Maybe then you just do a 10 to 1 and you just call it a day. So, Steven says I'm hoping for 100 to 1 or 100 to 10. Well, that's 10 to 1. But if you meant 100 to 1, that'd be crazy. I'm not even sure if 100 to 1 has happened. So we'll have to take that into consideration. Well, Heiji says 5 to 1 makes no sense. They'll be in the position that they are next year. I think that's kind of the argument, though, right? If you continually split, and here's the pro and the anti argument, right? The pro argument is splits continually generate new hype, continually show investors that you're bullish on the stock as management. Kind of speaks to the long-term vision a little bit, or long-term catalysts for the company. The anti-argument is splits don't do anything. They're fundamentally nothing, a big fat nothing burger. You're splitting the pizza in more slices. Who cares? And so I'm more on the former camp of the split, being that it shows investors that you're confident, and it gives, by the way, new high made here on the day, 11:35:11. 11:35:11. Yeah, I said that right. Said on Tesla. So, I don't think it's bad. I mean, look at Apple. I'd have to pull up an Apple chart on how long they've split, but honestly, Apple will split continually every few years, like clockwork, right? So if you have a good running company with good fundamentals, a strong moat, good technology, awesome margins, good management, splitting every couple of years is not a bad idea. So Randy said, "I'll take a nothing burger with double cheese." Alex says Elon should buy Robinhood and only allow Twitter and Tesla purchases. That'd kind of be like the anti-GME meme stock thing that happened, right? So, awesome. So levels. Carl says, "Did you see the new Piper Sandler report on Tesla market share?" You know what? I did. I shared that on Discord last night. I don't think I retweeted it out, so maybe on Discord I could find it real quick here. By the way, I think we also got a JP Morgan price target upgrade to 335. This is pre-split, by the way, not post-split. 335 from 325. So take that with how you want. Here's the new Piper Sandler note here. Copy link. Let me try to bring it into the web browser here. Pardon me, I'm doing this a little bit ad hoc, but that such is life. Hopefully this is not too blurry. I'm just gonna read it. I thought this was a good note. This is Piper Sandler's note on. Actually, you know what? This is a little bit blurry. Hold on, let me just find a better link to the Piper Sandler note here. By the way, thanks for everyone joining me on such ad hoc notice regarding this stream. Much love, and by the way, happy Monday. Happy Monday to everyone. Okay, I think Gary tweeted this out. I'm gonna try to pull that up. Okay, Gary tweeted this out last night. Hadouken, thanks for the $2.50 super chat. Appreciate that, my friend. So Gary tweeted. Actually, hold on. Let me just copy image. Open a new tab. Okay, better. Piper Sandler's conclusion. On Saturday, Tesla reported quarter one deliveries of 310,000 units versus the consensus of 313. By the way, there was a big hot debate this weekend on what the street was. Many were saying 309. Many were saying FactSet said more. I mean, for all intents and purposes, can we at least agree that they just met expectations? We don't have to say slight beat. Let's just say met expectations. Street estimates likely didn't fully capture the impact of COVID-related lockdown in Shanghai. Okay, well, there you go. You heard it yourselves. Where Tesla's most productive facility is located. The quarter one result exceeded our estimate of 294 because we assumed more severe impact from COVID, coupled with Chinese New Year, 2 fewer days in quarter one versus quarter four. Why does everyone cite Chinese New Year as a reason why quarter one deliveries would be down year over year? Chinese New Year happens every quarter one in China. So I don't get that. That's not really an argument, in my opinion. In our opinion, Piper Sandler says, these reports are only useful when they convey something predictive about the future. And in this regard, the delivery miss isn't especially instructive. Delivery wait times are still 2 to 12 months out, depending on the model and region. And Tesla's market share is still rising. Also note, production was flat quarter over quarter, a good result, all things considered. Fair enough. Thoughts regarding production. One, investors should not interpret the downside versus consensus negatively. Okay, well, there you go. Daily production, this is the big one. Daily production rates were likely higher this quarter versus last quarter, despite more downtime. So the daily production rates, and they go on to kind of give us some math there. Specifically, quarter one production was 305,000 units, but 3,400 units per day versus the 3,300 units a day in quarter four. Number four, we're not sure if new factories in Berlin and Austin contributed materially to quarter one results. Number five, note Berlin and Austin, when they're ramping, fixed costs, deleveraging, lower margin is likely. That's a big one as well. Six, it's not a red flag if new underutilized factories cause temporary margin compression. So I think what we're going to see in terms of FUD out of mainstream media for the next little bit on Tesla margins, especially during earnings, is going to be, look, their margins were not sustainable. 30% gross margins, 18+% operating margins. These were never sustainable. Look, they're kind of reverting to the mean, blah, blah, blah. And we're going to see that because of the way that capitalization works on accounting for these new factories. Remember, when you are starting a new factory, you have a large amount of fixed costs to depreciate. That's going to be done on the forward side of the first couple of quarters to a year. As everything is depreciated there, and costs are incurred, then economies of scale will kick in for the next, let's say, couple of quarters after, like a year, let's say. And that's when we get those China type margins. By the way, that's not including 4680. And I'm not sure that's including giga castings either, single castings. So let's see here. Jupiter says Chinese New Year and Lunar New Year moves 10 days each year, but it still should be in Q1 though, right? During my time of my slight time of doing business in China, it would always be in February usually, right? If and correct me if I'm wrong, the time specifically obviously could be different, of course, every single year, but it's never trickling into Q2 though, right? So, yeah, I mean, a lot of price targets on the street may actually turn out being right post split for sure. Hedges says the upcoming credit upgrade to investment grade will run the stock up. So seeing a 21 split is likely, should be upwards of $1,500 per announcement, Hedges saying. By the way, if you want context on when the investment grade credit rating might happen, I have a video out on that. But before that, I want to pull up Phil LeBeau.
John, it was not a whole lot more than what we saw from Tesla in the fourth quarter, but it was a record quarter for deliveries, 310,000 vehicles, just over that. The consensus was for 317, though you did see some say the consensus was maybe 312, 313, whatever. It was just shy of consensus, 95% being Models 3 and Y, as has been the case in recent quarters. But China, in this last quarter, it did impact production. And Elon Musk tweeted about that on Saturday after the numbers were released. Elon Musk tweeting out, "This was an exceptionally difficult quarter due to supply chain interruptions and China's zero COVID policy. Outstanding work by Tesla team and key suppliers saved the day." Remember, they lost 4 days of production at the Shanghai plant. And by the way, they did not restart production today. What's curious is whether or not analysts now will up their year-end projections for total deliveries. It currently stands at about 1.45 million vehicles, easily about a 50% increase compared to 936 last year. Now, we won't get any guidance from Tesla, or will we get some guidance from Tesla when it reports its Q1 results? Sometimes they have, after Q1, said, look, this is what we were expecting for this year, though I suspect that they're going to stick with what they've told us in recent quarters, which is, look, an annual increase of about 50% is what you should be expecting from us, give or take. Some years it might be a little below 50, some years it might be a little above 50. So we will get those numbers, by the way, on the 20th. So a little over 2 weeks from now. But the big news this week will also be the Gigafactory in Texas beginning deliveries, Deirdre.
Right. And Phil, the delivery number is pretty remarkable, especially when you put it beside the same numbers at other automakers. How is Tesla able to achieve such outperformance?
Well, look, they've got a great handle on the supply chain, and particularly when it comes to chips. Now, we've seen a number of automakers. Look, Ford just came out today. They were down to what, about 23, 24% for the quarter in terms of deliveries, impacted by the chip shortage. And we've heard this from other automakers as well. Remember, the one reason why Tesla has been able to withstand this better than other automakers, it has been impacted, but it has withstood it better than other automakers, is because they're writing the software to adapt to the chips that they have. So they've been able to do that much better than other automakers. They are impacted, but not to the same degree.
Pretty fascinating there at 11:30 now. Phil, we're watching Tesla for a whole host of reasons. Thank you, Phil LeBeau. Still to come this.
Imagine being Legacy and just realizing how screwed you are with EVs against Tesla. Anyways, Hadouken, thanks for the $5 super chat. Hadouken asking, in regards to the stock split, will a higher split ratio mean it will take more buying pressure to make a $1 move? Yes, exactly. So a $1 move, let's say if Tesla splits 10-1 and Tesla's sitting at $113, a $1 move is, a little bit less than 1% move or something, right? And so if Tesla splits 20-1, then it'd be a $50 stock, let's say, and Tesla's $1 move would now be like a 2% move. So exactly, the $1 move itself will be a lot harder depending on how much of a split ratio Tesla takes. So, but percentages is kind of the way to go, just to look at everything. So yeah. And then I saw a comment here, Jupiter said, will Giga Austin be opening a catalyst? Amidst everything going on, folks, we've forgotten that Austin is coming online this week. Who's going to Austin? I got no invite. Not that I expected one because I'm not cool enough anyways. But, let me know if anyone in the chat, if you're listening, if you've gotten an invite. And how did you get an invite to this thing? This is shaping up to be like everything for like probably the biggest Tesla event probably that we're gonna have ever. I mean, I'm not sure if there's gonna be another factory opening up anytime soon. So I guess we'll see. My Tesla Weekend says I'll be there. You know that? Yes, my Tesla Weekend is running an awesome event. If you want to throw any sort of info in the chat, feel free to. In Austin, for me, here's what I think. I could totally make an impromptu trip to Austin, but I feel like it'd be a little bit selfish. My best friend's getting married on Sunday. If I go to Austin, I'll be flying back on the Saturday. And if I test positive, I'll have to be isolated. And just knowing from watching watching so much sports cross border, I know how easy it is to test positive on those antigen tests. If I test positive, I miss my best friend's wedding, albeit maybe if it's a 10% chance of happening. I feel like he'd probably unfriend me for the rest of my life. So that's kind of my considerations at the moment. I know Canada doesn't require, but we have the random testing and stuff. So that's kind of where my moral dilemma is at the moment on Austin. So it's not looking likely that I'll go, but man, it would be a lot of fun. And man, there'd be a lot of mingling happening. I'd have no problem with that if I didn't have something to do on the Sunday after. Not to mention, prep him for his wedding. Tesla Hype, thanks for the $5 super chat. Is it common for stock splits to happen before mergers and acquisitions? I don't know the answer to that question. I'm not sure what you're insinuating there. By the way, I wouldn't consider what Elon's done here as an M&A move because it doesn't pertain to Tesla per se. But I don't know. I think stock splits are just, events that happen. Apple, I'm trying to think. Apple very rarely buys out companies. Google, I guess, but Google's splitting for the first time in a long time. So, yeah, not entirely sure. Oh, someone's saying talk about X or talk about Albemarle with the minings and the raw materials. Okay, interesting. Something to think about. Nick says Rob Meier says 20-1. I love Rob. I think he has awesome insight. I don't think 20-1. I'm happy to be wrong. No problem saying I'm wrong. I don't think 20-1. I don't think Elon is really following the playbook of Amazon or Google with their announcements and their split ratios. Remember, Tesla just split a couple of years ago. So Tesla's on a different trajectory. Also, 20-1. Okay, I would not hate the idea. I mean, it would be a very absolutely speaking wise, cheap stock in terms of buying stock. But it would, again, just put Tesla into that bucket of autos that we talk about in their absolute values. And the more I think about it, the more I think Tesla doesn't want to follow the status quo around that. So I guess we'll see. My Tesla Weekend saying free meet and greet Thursday, noon to 3 with a bunch of Tesla tubers and all Tesla Texas drone pilots. Awesome. Go look at, go check out My Tesla Weekend on Twitter if you want more info on that. Vasil says, how many more factories will Tesla need to open to make 20 million vehicles a year? Great question. I think this really depends on 4680s. I'm no battery expert. I think this is a better question for someone like Tesla economist. Probably already answered this. Lee, friend of the show, he was just on a couple of days ago. But it totally depends on 4680s, because if you can legitimize 4680s and their scale, like we talked about at Battery Day, I don't know, maybe five more, three to five more. Or maybe 3 to 5 in total. I don't know. So someone in the comments probably has better insight into production out of 4680s with the new factories. So we'll see. Sweet Hunt says, am I wrong, or is it more easy to double your money if we get a higher split? No, I wouldn't think about it that way. If a $50 stock goes to $100, right? Okay, here's the thing. Here's the underlying mentality you should have around split. A $50 stock that's $20 billion in market cap is different than a $50 stock that's $1 trillion in market cap. The amount of money required to move both stocks is very different, despite them being at $50. So think about it like weighting, right? Think about kind of look at it like a puzzle piece. It can be very big, like Tesla's $1,000 right now, or it can be $50. But if you're going to shrink it to 50, you're just going to make it a lot heavier, right? So what you're sacrificing is the absolute value, but you're increasing the weight of the piece itself. There's no free lunch. This is no free lunch whatsoever. It's just accounting, essentially. So it'd be a lot heavier of a piece to move, that $50 stock, if Tesla split to $50, than QuantumScape or something like that. So, yeah. Awesome. Well, much love, everyone, for tuning in. Impromptu, ad hoc, all 500-600 of you beautiful people watching. Hit the subscribe if you're new, by the way. We've had a lot of new subscribers lately. Thanks for joining me on my journey of creating this channel and just talking Tesla. Like, we're at 18,853 subscribers live. It's a live feed. So hit subscribe if you haven't already. I've had people messaging me saying they've been watching me for months. They haven't realized they haven't hit subscribe on their accounts. So do that if you want, or don't if you don't want. Much love for everyone tuning in. Impromptu lives are going to happen more and more often. Only way to be alerted is hit the notification bell. I hate when YouTubers pitch this, but I'm serious. You've seen it. I'm very impromptu with what I do sometimes. I always give our Discord a heads up, which you can join via Patreon or channel membership at $5 or more a month. By the way, much love to everyone that does. But hit the bell. That's the second best way to be alerted before I'm planning to go on live. Or you can just catch it on the replay. No big deal. No hard feelings. It's not that important. I get it. I'm just a piece to your Monday morning. Hopefully a positive piece. And 1133 sitting on Tesla. Hopefully we see an uptick for the rest of the day. Awesome day regardless. Even if we hold this level, almost up 5% on the day. Oh, look at this. Tesla wants to make a new high for the day before we leave. Boom, new high made. Tesla doesn't want us to leave here, but we're probably going to have to. Much love. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to see all the comments coming in. Much love. Take care. Be positive. Digital says it's your friend. Don't script the wedding. Think of it as an investment. Oh, absolutely. That's 100% right. I mean, some things are just, important. So much love. Vinod says, are we doing a power hour today? Likely not. I have an appointment at 11:30, which will probably drag into lunch hour close. So well, probably not, but we'll see. Joshua says, don't end this. Should I just leave the Weeble screen up? You guys can just watch Tesla stock all day. All right. Much love. Take care. Peace. And before you leave, 500 people watching, hit subscribe. But leave a comment of your Tesla closing price guessing, or your Tesla closing price guess for the day. Price is Right rules. Leave them, just one comment per person. Leave it in the chat before you head out. Much love. Hit subscribe on your way out as well. Take care. Go buy some oranges, John says. Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. Thank you guys. Take care. Much love. Peace. Appointments are not allowed. Peace.